Then put a fresh set of tyres on and try and extract the maximum from that new set.
The local hero, Pedro Lamy, in the Minardi Ford. This will be his second Grand Prix here. He raced here in 1993 when he was driving for Lotus. Didn't race last year, of course, when he was still recovering from the injuries he sustained in testing. But this is going to be a big weekend for the youngster, and he's going to have a lot of media attention on him as he tries to get as good a result as possible. Minardi had a hard time last time out in Monza.
Well, the first of the true front-runners out, Damon Hill, and this time will be watched with considerable interest. Certainly with the Benetton and McLaren teams, and of course Ferrari, Gerhard Berger and Jean Alesi, they were 5th and 6th quickest, and they've also got a modification, or probably a lot of little modifications. The principal one, of course, is around the front of the car. They've got a new front wing available, giving a little bit more downforce without any additional drag, just what you need in Estoril.
Indeed, Damon Hill out, as we often see, one of the first of the front runners to come out onto the circuit with that heavily revised Williams. But Pedro Lamy being concentrated on at the moment, that's fair enough. Hill is just going out to get up to speed first of all, so he won't be on a quick lap as yet, whereas Pedro Lamy is definitely on a fast lap at the moment. Pedro set the 19th fastest time this morning, just a fraction ahead of his teammate Luca Badoa.
A track that Pedro Lamy, of course, knows very well. He was a sensation here back in the early 90s in Vauxhall Lotus, and that is a performance that really brought him to England to take part in the British and the European series, and then graduated his way through Formula 3 and into 3000, into Formula 1. But that testing shunt last year in May at Silverstone was just massive, and I mean, to see him as fit and strong and virtually unaffected by that accident, and able to drive and match, in fact, and be beating his more experienced teammate in the Minardi team, I think is an outstanding performance.
So Pedro Lamy goes fourth fastest. Taki Inoue, believe it or not, has actually gone fastest. It's Inoue ahead of Papis, so the two footwork hearts are separated by 19 thousandths of a second.
And just to give an indication of the difference in times between morning and now in qualification, Taki Inoue is over 2 seconds faster than he achieved this morning. Now, he had 20 laps out of the 23, he's plenty of running. So the Footwork team have used that time very effectively. They've found time, and the advantage of that fresh set of tyres has resulted in the young Japanese driver and his teammate being top of the times.
An interesting situation. There's Michael Schumacher in the pits, obviously quite relaxed, not worrying about getting in the car yet. Wasn't too delighted with the performance, the handling of his car this morning, and particularly with the handling over the bumps here.
Well, Benetton, of course, had a large test session last week in Spain, in Barcelona, and Michael Schumacher was testing a variety of modifications. The most notable was a change in the front suspension.